talk with Pat Buchanan. We'll also talk with Larry Kinney, who was an eyewitness to this violent confrontation between Christopher Mad Dog Russo and Sid, I have no guts, Rosenberg. And we will flip a coin to determine which Ford dealer wins the right, either Bob Thomas Ford in Hamden, Connecticut, or Rich Ford in Albuquerque and Edgewood, New Mexico. Which dealer wins the right to sell me a Ford truck? And just unfortunately, it's not actually for the ranch, although it will be here at the ranch and won't leave the ranch. It's just that it's not a truck we actually need. It's just more of a convenience, and there are times I might use it personally, maybe to go to town to get some Nicorette or something, so I wouldn't spend ranch money for it.
Right.
Were I spending ranch money, I would have let this bidding war that emerged yesterday get to the point where Bob Thomas would have given me the truck plus money. So, and also Phil Sierra down at Edgewood, down at Rich Ford and Edgewood and Albuquerque would have probably done the same thing. I mean, they were frantic. So they tied in their bid when I stopped the bidding.
Yeah.
I'll flip a coin coming up. Here's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, I-Man. Chaos and calamitous confusion. That is what the 9/11 Commission staff, the story that was released, deeply distressing report on the responses of the military and U.S. air traffic control systems on 9/11/2001. Report paints a picture of terrible coordination. Some dramatic tapes were played, including one here in which FAA officials ponder alerting the military about the aircraft that would crash in Pennsylvania, United Flight 93.
Do we want to think about scrambling aircraft? Oh, God, I don't know. That's a decision somebody's going to have to make probably in the next 10 minutes. Everybody just left the room.
Everybody just what?
Left the room. And that, I mean, it was...
They got to get it together.
Well, it was failure and foul up.
Like it was pulling Domino's Pizza.
I mean,
mushrooms, I don't know.
A lot of it understandable as they tried to deal with this situation, in which the Commission Executive Director said it was try to improvise something by people who had never encountered or trained for, the kind of situation that they would face. Such things as the hijackers turning off these airliners' transponders, and that effectively removed them from the radar screen. I even heard one tape yesterday saying, well, I've got a couple of jets scrambled. What do I do with them?
Who turned off the transponders?
The hijackers.
Oh, so they knew enough to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
And make them disappear from radar. A guy scrambled a couple of jets and said, okay, they're up, but I need a location. I need to know where to send them. So I don't know. One of the, when they turned off the transponder on Flight 77, American Airlines, it made it able to be flown unseen across the country for a full 36 minutes before finally being spotted by controllers shortly before it would smash into the Pentagon.
These camel jockeys were far more organized. Well, that's unfortunate, Imus. And these hijackers were far more, organized than we were, obviously.
Well, they knew to flip off the transponders that would take them off of radar. I mean, easily off of radar. You have to hunt for them then to try to determine the location of the aircraft.
And it is horrifying to hear those conversations. And imagine if you're a member of the surviving families.
Right.
Or you're just an American.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just horrible. But at any rate, that is what happened and did not happen on that day, with just this utter confusion over communications. And now the bipartisan 9/11 Commission is expected to issue a final report next month. Also, part of the story yesterday that emerged, the president, the administration, continuing to say there were ties between Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda. However, they're insisting that Mr. Bush, that he and his administration never did claim that Saddam was in this collaborative association with the September 11th attacks.
Well, the reason I keep insisting that there was a relationship between Iraq and Saddam and Al-Qaeda, because there was a relationship. This administration never said that the 9/11 attacks were orchestrated between Saddam and Al-Qaeda. We did say there were numerous contacts between Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda.
As did the 9/11 Commission itself, said that there were contacts.
They certainly left him. You could infer from what they were saying,
Right.
and implying that was the case. I mean, this is outrageous.
There is a relationship between Don Imus and Howard Stern. It's not a good relationship. They don't work together, but there is a relationship. There are some
we work for
contacts.
the same company. We worked together years ago, so that's a good analogy.
I speak to Boy Gary sometimes. We have contacts. We don't work together.
That's right. It wasn't a collaborative effort. Or a collaborative relationship, in the words of the commission, which did say that Osama bin Laden asked for Iraq's help in the mid-1990s, while bin Laden was in Sudan, and there were some visits between a top Iraqi intelligence officer and Sudan, and bin Laden requested space for training camps as well as assistance in procuring weapons, although Iraq never responded to that. So
we have Nora O'Donnell, the White House correspondent for NBC News, who is traveling with the president in Washington State.
All right.
Let's cross-question her. Good morning, Nora. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well. We're at Fort Lewis, where the president is going to be speaking later today.
To sell me a still overpriced Ford pickup, and Larry Kinney will report on the confrontation between Mad Dog Russo and Sid Rosenberg, and all that is just ahead here.
He was a threat because he provided safe haven for a terrorist like Zarqawi, who is still killing innocent inside of Iraq. Now, he was a threat, and the world is better off, and America is more secure without Saddam Hussein in power. Imus in the morning.
Larry Kinney, who Charles and I have worked with for 27 years.
The great Larry Kinney.
Right,
Good morning, Mr. Kinney.
31 years, Dono.
31 years.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So,
Good. What should we talk about this morning?
well, I understand you witnessed this confrontation.
Oh, no, don't drag me into this.
Why?
You mean the Russo thing and the Sid and all that?
Yeah.
Well, Don, I'm sorry, but with all due respect, I'm going to have to invoke my constitutional rights here, and I refuse to discuss that on the grounds of the 18th Amendment.
Even after 31 years, if you don't tell us, I'll fire you.
What's the 18th Amendment?
I was drunk when it happened.
Oh.
This old joke about it. What do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you?
Well, what happened?
Break it down.
Well, briefly, I was in the newsroom yesterday, I guess it was, and Russo and Francesa came in to get ready for their show.
Yeah.
And we're discussing with all the guys in what they call the bullpen there, the incident between Marv Albert, I guess, when the Iron Eagle thing. And frankly, I was doing some stuff on the computer and just, kind of out of the corner of my ear, I guess, listening to this thing. And the conversation began to get more and more heated.
Between Francesa and Russo, or?
No, not at all. Francesa and Russo were talking with the other guys about what a rotten thing they thought this was, if it were true.
Yeah.
Marv Albert to do, I guess. They feel that he's trying to undercut Iron Eagle.
Yeah.
And in their words, it would ruin this guy's life, and why would Marv, who's had a wonderful career, do something like this? And Sid kept piping up saying, oh, wait a minute, you guys are all wrong about this. I mean, my God, the guy's just looking for a job. He's trying to make a living and all that, and then Russo and Francesa would come back with, no, Sid, you don't understand. This is not the right thing to do. And Sid would say something like, I don't see anything wrong with it now. And finally, Russo could take no more. He got right in Sid's face, and I mean screaming at him. I mean, you know how he screams when he likes a caller.
Yeah.
When he likes the guy, he says, you know what you're talking about, you can't be doing that, is it? This was pure hatred. Sid, let me tell you something. You know something about integrity. You have no morals. You would step in your mother's face to get a job. You bastard. And the next thing I know, as I walk around the corner to get away from all this, on the intercom, I hear Sid, after standing there listening to all this screaming, and I thought there was going to be a fist fight, 2 seconds later, has run back in the studio and sat down and going, so, big sports night last night. And Russo's still out there in the hall going, I kill it, son of a bitch! We'll be back after this 2020 with the Ackman. It was so funny. Sid has the capability of being in this tremendous argument, although I must say he was not doing any screaming.
Yeah.
He was, as far as I could tell, just listening to Russo,
Would you say that Sid backed down?
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Would you call Sid a coward?
Sure.
Thanks, Larry. Larry Kinney here on the Imus on my program. 26 at the hour. All right, briefly on the truck issue here. I said I wanted to buy an F-150 pickup. I don't know, Perry told me it was a 4X, whatever it is. Now, it's a red pickup with, and I want to have pipes put on it, that kind of thing. So I called, Perry called Rich Ford in Edgewood, New Mexico, and I got a price from him. And I said, well, let's check with Bob Thomas. I want to be loyal to Bob. So we got a price from Bob, which was way under the initial price offered by Rich Ford. So we told Rich Ford this. They immediately lowered their price, which started an all-day yesterday bidding war. That if the truck had been for the ranch, and I were using ranch money, I would have let it go to zero. In other words, Bob Thomas was not going to lose, and neither was Phil Sierra down at Rich Ford. They would have given me the truck plus money not to lose this. Well, I didn't think that was fair. They both are outstanding dealers. They really are. Rich Ford has been great to us, so has Bob Thomas. So I thought, well, I stopped the bidding at a reasonable price that I'm willing to pay, which is what they should charge for them anyway. They don't, but it's substantially under sticker. And I said, I'll flip a coin. Now, meanwhile, I got a letter from a guy in Garland, Texas, old Jerry Reynolds. He's got the #1 Ford and truck dealership in Texas, the #2 dealership in America. What do you think old Jerry would have done, Chuck?
Oh, man, he would have sent out one of them auto haulers full of trucks.
That's exactly what he did. Old Jerry with that ego. I mean, his whole letter is telling me how great he is and what he's #1 in this, #1 in that. He has this automotive show, but one thing Jerry Reynolds did was he dropped the ball, and he was too late on all this. He should have responded earlier, but I wrote him a nice note, and I do appreciate his interest. Anyway, I said, well, I'll flip a coin. So I'm going to flip it now. And it's this gold.
All right.
It's this gold coin I carry around. We took a picture of it earlier. This is heads. This is tails. Heads, I'll buy it from Bob Thomas. Tails, I'll buy it from Rich Ford.
Okay, here we go.
Here's tails. Isn't it?
It's tails?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, get the truck up here today. You want the exhaust system put on it this morning, and I want it now. So. Well, I did it as fair as I could do it. That's a fair way. I didn't want to embarrass either one of them. They both are great dealers, and they were great sports about it.
Yeah.
And that was a fair way to do it, wasn't it, Charles?
It is the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Not only a fair way, the only way to settle the thing.
And Bob Thomas is a decent American. By the way, I was flipping the coin ahead of time. It was always Bob Thomas heads and Rich Ford tails, and Randall was watching me, and it would come up heads one time and tails the next. Never heads twice in a row and never tails twice in a row.
Wow.
So, well, congratulations to Rich Ford. They get to sell me the pickup at the price they said they would.
Beautiful.
Which they will do. And they get to put the exhaust system on it today.
Congratulations.
And get it up here tomorrow, Saturday, so I can drive the kids to the airport in it. Anyway, 29 after the hour, Fred Imus is on the phone. Or maybe he's not. But we're going to squeeze Fred in here in just a few minutes. But we have to talk with Pat Buchanan, who we're going to try to get to say something even uglier than he said before about poor old Joseph Califano.
Imus in the morning.
A half a homo Chris Russo. Well, that's not necessary.
Why half?
But
Because he's married.
well, now you're talking tough.
Yeah.
Again, you had Larry Kenny on the program last hour. He told you I did not have the opportunity. It really, if you think about it, Dog knew how to go back into the studio and do my radio show. So he was the coward because he started yelling and screaming, knowing full well I wouldn't have the time to take him apart. And then, of course, Mike Francesa came in to protect him.
Yeah, but there was another person in the studio who could have taken up the slack.
No, I had to do
While
a
you
live
weren't
read.
there.
No, it was my
That's
commercial.
never stopped you before. You're back there hitting
I
on
shouldn't
Michelle
have.
half the time
What?
when the show's
What are
beginning,
you
and
talking
you have
about?
Dove running outside looking for you.
On the
Back there
phone.
sniffing around Kara when she was there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I missed that.
So,
I
well,
miss her. God.
you're
All
a
of a sudden,
lying
you have to run back in
skunk.
the studio.
You're a lying, cowardly, spineless skunk.
And a pussy.
Okay. Whoa.
Well, that's a
Bottom
little
line.
strong.
Take it
Yeah.
easy.
Total.
all right?
Yeah, that's exactly what you are.
We'll see what happens. I already
We
told
saw
you.
what happened.
No,
We
we didn't see
saw
anything.
no, we saw what happened.
It's past.
It's not
It's
past.
history.
It's not past.
No.
I will vindicate myself. I will make the I-Man proud.
Tough
Why don't we
talking
get
loud
Russo
mouth
on the
from
phone
Brooklyn.
now?
Get him.
Bernie?
Get him on the phone.
Excellent plan.
Get him
Yeah.
on the phone right now.
Yeah,
He's
let's
not
find out
afraid.
He's not, obviously, Russo's not afraid. Russo's a man.
Why?
Absolutely.
He's got
Yeah.
Francesa there to protect him. And then Mike sat me down and kind of calmed me down before he took it to the next level.
That's just a bust-out lie.
What next level were you going to take it?
I sat down on the couch.
Like you did with Johnny C., where you ran in Chernoff's office and hid under his desk?
Hold on.
Is that your next level?
Johnny C. was a little, that was a little ridiculous, please. That guy was a monster.
Did you run away from him and hide in Chernoff's office under his desk, yes or no?
No, the answer is no.
Well, whose desk did you hide under?
I think it was Colin's desk.
Well, we'll try to get Russo on the phone.
Get Russo on the phone.
I'll talk to Russo, and then, of course, you'll talk tough with Russo because you don't have to come face-to-face with him today because they're doing some remote somewhere.
At Shea Stadium, it's the Big Mike Piazza night. That's true. So he knew that as well yesterday when he ripped into me, knowing he wasn't going to be here today either. So it depends how you look at it. If you really look at it rationally, there's no question that he's the pussy in this whole thing and not me.
Oh, my God. Charles, are you hearing this?
I'm standing here just looking at the man aghast.
Nodding in agreement. Nodding in agreement.
It is
We're not on
stunning.
TV. Nodding in agreement.
You are as delusional as Pat Buchanan and Joe Califano over their little flare-up.
Please. You know, he has managed to alienate everybody at this radio station.
Who has?
Joe
Dog.
Califano?
No, Dog.
Oh.
I mean, I already hated him, but now Beningo, me, I mean, there's a long laundry list of people that just can't stand him anymore. I don't know if he knows that, but in his attempt to stick up for Ryan Eagle in this holy crusade, this ridiculous holy war, he's managed to alienate the whole station. Everybody hates his guts.
Please welcome now to the Imus in the Morning program, a man, Christopher Mad Dog Russo.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Dog.
Good morning, Donald. How are you today, buddy?
I can barely hear you.
How you doing today?
What kind of phone are you on?
I'm on a regular phone. You must hear me perfectly now.
Why am I having trouble hearing him, Lou?
Talking to the phone, Chris.
I am talking. Do you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. How are you?
Would you like me to switch phones downstairs?
Yes.
Hold on for a second, Don. You
Okay.
talk, and I'll get another phone.
Okay, we're going to wait for
You talk.
receiving broadcasting instructions from Mad Dog Russo. You talk?
We're to talk.
Daddy, can you fill this ad for me? I'll go get another phone.
16 after the hour.
Tell Chuck to give the weather or something.
Here on the Imus in the Morning program.
Okay, you hear me now?
We're going to talk to Christopher Mad Dog Russo, who, in effect, emasculated and already emasculated Sid Rosenberg yesterday in the bullpen there at WFAN in New York City. So,
He's back.
Good morning, Don.
good morning, Russo. How are you?
How are you, pal?
Don't pal me, you weasel. 'Cause well, what happened yesterday, Trin? Did you actually lose your temper with Sid?
I did, I think, for a second, and I apologize. Sid's a good man, but I vehemently disagree with Sid on the Marv Albert situation, and that's what triggered it. And, of course, Sid, every break, he's on the air for 2.5 minutes, and every freaking break, he comes out of that studio babbling away, and I just couldn't take it. So I lashed out at him, but I apologize. It's my fault.
Did you use foul language?
No, I did not.
Did you, as charged, drop the F-bomb?
I don't think I did, no.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
People heard it.
Witnesses.
People heard it.
Well, I apologize if I should not use that terrible job on my part.
We're congratulating you
Why are you congratulating me?
for getting up in Sid's mush and showing that you're a man, for God's sakes. We thought you were a hermaphrodite up until now, to be quite honest with you.
And now, in our view,
How about Sid coming in that studio every 5 seconds? God, sit there for Jesus' sake, will you please?
well,
Anyway,
I wish
it has to do with the Marv Albert scenario.
Let me tell you my take on that, by the way.
Yeah,
while you
let me
brought it
hear it.
up.
Go ahead.
Iron Eagle is no Kevin Harlan, okay?
Oh, Jesus, now you love Kevin Harlan. I'm surprised you know who he is.
And,
What, do you listen to Minnesota Timberwolves games? How do you know who Kevin Harlan is?
By the way, Sid's sitting there sucking his thumb.
You got that shortwave radio for the January T-Wolf Hawk game? I mean, what are you doing?
if I'm the Nets, I'd get rid of Iron so quick and hire Marv that it'd make your head spin.
Oh, you're nuts. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many extra tickets will Marv sell if he's the announcer instead of Ian?
Oh, well, I don't know. Probably not.
Zero. And how many extra people will go watch a net game because Marv's doing it than Ian's doing it?
I would.
Answer, zero.
Well, to quote Bernard here, in this whole affair, haven't we had enough backbiting, Russo?
Backbiting between who and who?
How did you get that, Dad?
Backbiting between who and who?
Between Marv and whoever.
No, between you, Sid, Marv, Francesa.
Is that who?
Well, would you agree?
Beningo?
Would you agree that Marv, who's had a career that has spanned, as longer than yours,
Yeah.
Would you agree that Marv going after Ian's job is a little out of line?
No.
Why not?
He should be whipped.
Why? I know.
You know what? You know what, Chris?
Last night, Chuck agrees. I know that. Now, why?
He should be led around the room on a dog collar
And spanked.
and spanked.
With a gag ball in his mouth.
Mouth,
With
yeah.
a pair of women's panties over his head.
You guys are dead.
I know that. So, well, we're encouraging Sid to physically assault you, but you've sort of ruined that by apologizing.
Well, the last time we saw Sid, go after somebody in a fight.
Oh, you don't want to go there. Listen. I will gladly. Hold on. I will gladly accept your apology right now. That's all I'm going to say. One more word, Chris, and I'm not going to be so nice about this.
Oh, give me a break, Sid.
Oh, I'll give you. Here we go.
You'd step over your mother for a gosh darn job, for God's sake.
You know, it's so funny to me, Chris. Just answer this question to me for 1 second. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? You overpaid loudmouth jerk-off. Who the hell are you to talk about whether or not Marv Albert at his age should walk away from a career that he is the #1 guy in the business because he's worked his ass off for 40 years? Who the hell are you to tell Marv Albert when to step away?
I said I got the answer for you. There are job openings. Nobody's going to get fired. There are job openings in New Orleans and Memphis.
Who the hell are you to tell him to move to Memphis? Why don't you move to Memphis? Why don't you move to Memphis? Who the hell are you? Who are you? He's been around for 40 years. You've babbled your nonsense on here for 15 years, and you're going to talk about Marv Albert? You, and talk about money. He's made enough money over his lifetime. After all the money they paid you, it's a damn joke. Who the hell are you?
Sir, you got that? He's the voice of TNT. He's the voice of Monday Night Football. It's his third job. Marv is...
How many jobs do you have? Why don't you take the money from your stupid book that you humiliatedly put all over every single channel across America, from Cold Pizza to CNBC, and give that money to Iron Eagle if he's struggling so much? You got 15 jobs yourself. Who the hell are you to talk? You're a hypocrite. You're a goddamn hypocrite.
No, we can't be swearing here, Sid. What's the matter with you?
And you take Joe Beningo out yesterday in the middle of the afternoon. What did Joe Beningo ever do to you?
Joe Benigno kissed Bob Raceman's fanny. It was an absolute disgrace. Disgrace, Sid. Disgrace. Just like your garbage every single day is a disgrace as well. Remember, Sid, you were rescued from a failed career at NEW-FM. So let's take it slow. You have not been here for 17 years like Mike and myself. You've been here for a freaking cup of coffee, and if it wasn't for Imus, you wouldn't even be on the radio.
Right place at the right time, doggy. Right place at the right time.
My fanny.
Yeah, okay.
Give me a break.
Okay.
Right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Give me a freaking break, Sid. Right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time, dog. Right place at the right time.
Wouldn't even be at the radio station. How about that? Wasn't for Imus? And I can say the same for myself, but I made a 15-year career out of it. You haven't.
How about
So
that?
pipe down. You're carrying you're a water boy for Marv.
The last word to Mad Dog Russo. Oh, God, it doesn't get any better than this.
Sid's crying.
Outside. Wilson Pickett, baby.
That's when my love comes tumbling down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. I'm gonna take you, girl, and hold you and do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. One more thing I just want to say right here. Imus in the morning.
At Medicine Shop Pharmacies, we understand how confusing the new Medicare drug discount card.
Westwood One Entertainment. Well, Sid Rosenberg, if you get to thinking about it, and didn't Mad Dog step up big, just in my view. But when you get to thinking about it, he really is right. You were rescued. Of course, you weren't on NEW-FM. You were on the AM side. But you really were rescued.
FM, 102.7.
Okay, well, you were rescued from a failed effort there. And, in fact, I remember Chernoff playing a tape of you for me that we played on the air that was perhaps the worst piece of broadcast tape I'd ever heard in my life.
Sports guy.
Well, let me just say this.
And nevertheless, we like your attitude. And so I, as I have done many other people throughout my career, rescued you. And you've been at the station about 20 minutes, and you're taking on Mike Francesa.
A heavyweight.
No, I'm not taking on Francesa at all.
And Chris Russo, who have been there.
Mike's out of it.
And have been #1 for 15 years.
Stop with that. Will you stop with that already?
Institutions in sports broadcasting.
They weren't #1. First of all, no.
Broadcast nationally on the Yes Television Network, channel 622 on your direct TV, boys and girls.
Well, that's
1 to 6:30 Eastern Time.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, well, Mike Francesa deserves a lot of the credit.
And he won that battle, Mad Dog did,
He did not win that battle. He did not win that battle.
Sure
I was clutching my chest at the end because I got short of breath, so I was able to say something stupid on the way out.
I thought you went up for a bagel.
He didn't win the battle.
You were simply repeating
I
what
won
he
the
said, which I thought was embarrassing.
What did he say?
Well, he would just, whatever that last, you want me to play it again?
He bitch slapped you twice already.
Would you like to hear it again?
I'd like to hear a little bit of it.
Yeah, Lou can wrap up just the last minute or so, a couple of minutes of it, and we can hear it again. Would you like that?
Sure, that'd be great.
It'll give you a better sense of what happened.
That'd be great.
While Lou's racking it up.
Well, why the last couple of minutes? What about all the parts before the last couple of seconds? I was clutching my chest.
Because we don't have a lot of time.
His book and
we don't have a lot of time.
I understand.
It's who's standing at the end that counts.
No, that's fine.
Thank you.
It's, as you learned when you fought Bernard. I hate to bring that up now, but what's going on out at the U.S. Open at Strickland Park or whatever it's called? Shinnecock.
Who are you asking this?
You're the sports reporter.
I have no idea what's going on out there. Do you see what's going on in here? I'm embroiled in a death match.
I rest my case was exactly was Mad Dog Russo's point. You don't know what's going on.
And he's got you all flustered.
Yeah,
doesn't have me flustered. He
no
does not have me
equanimity.
flustered.
You know what he's doing at home now?
What?
Yucking it up with his kids.
Jumping on the trampoline with his kids.
And saying, look what Daddy did.
Right.
His kids are going, yay, Daddy, and they're pumping a little fist in the air.
His kids don't even talk to him.
His kids love him. I met his little daughter.
Oh,
She's adorable, by the way.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Those are Jeannie's kids, not Dog's kids.
We know whose kids they are.
Stop giving me the line about being #1 for 15 years of Francesa. That's the guy that made that happen. And by the way, when Opie and Anthony were on, they weren't #1 all those times either. That's just between you and I.
Dummy up, pussy boy.
Okay, yeah.
No, you meant between you and me.
Whatever.
Let's dummy up, okay, sissy boy?
Yeah, okay.
Let's listen to a little of this tape. Roll it, Lou. What's the matter with you?
And you take Joe Beningo out yesterday in the middle of the afternoon. What did Joe Beningo ever do to you?
Joe Benigno kissed Bob Raceman's fanny. It was an absolute disgrace. Disgrace, Sid. Disgrace. Just like your garbage every single day is a disgrace as well. Remember, Sid, you were rescued from a failed career at NEWFM. So let's take it slow. You have not been here for 17 years like Mike and myself. You've been here for a freaking cup of coffee, and if it wasn't for Imus, you wouldn't even be on the radio.
You right place at the right time, doggy. Right place at the right time.
My fanny.
Yeah, okay.
Give me a break. Right place at the right time. Give me a freaking break, Sid. Right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time, dog. Right place at the right time.
Wouldn't even be at the radio station. How about that? Wasn't for Imus? And I can say the same for myself, but I made a 15-year career out of it. You haven't.
How about
so
that?
Pipe down. You're carrying money. I mean, you're a water boy for Marv.
Okay, well, I mean, that's all you need. You're a water boy for Marv.
Where were you the last 15 seconds?
Yeah, where were we the last minute there?
Why don't you play the first couple of minutes?
No,
I was tired.
We don't have time for that.
I was tired.
You were tired?
Yes.
Well, Mad Dog wasn't tired.
Because for the first 2.5 minutes, I was yelling at him, and he came back for the last 30 seconds.
God.
And, of course, you play the last 30 seconds. You used to play the whole thing.
No. We played what we had time for.
I understand.
Charles can explain to you the time constraints of the program.
I understand. This is not about you. I love you. You're the man. All right? You made my career. I'm fine with all that. I give you credit all over the place. I got nothing without you. This is about Dog and me. Okay?
And he won.
And he won.
Okay.
2 days running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last 2 minutes of the game, that's what counts.
I mean, how does Harold Letterman or those guys score these fights? I mean, you've seen it every boxing match you've ever seen.
Yep.
Guy dogs it for 2.5 minutes and then gets busy in the last 30 seconds and he wins the round.
Now there is the perfect analogy.
Although I thought Mad Dog, by the way, prevailed throughout the entire conversation, frankly. He was magnanimous in his willingness. I'm surprised for that little skunk, but he was magnanimous in his willingness to apologize, which he did publicly.
He was winning it on points and then scored a knockout in the final round.
Not a TKO, a clear-cut knockout.
A knockout.
You were speechless.
On the canvas for the last 15 seconds.
With your eyes rolled up in the back of your head and your tongue stuck out of your mouth all the time, twitching. weren't you?
I was, yes.
Total humiliation, emasculation.
With the trainers all around you, looking, shaking their heads.
You'll never be able to get an erection again in your whole life. But don't worry, I'll be there for
Guy
you.
at ringside said, can we get some doctors in here? Can we get some doctors in
Oh,
here?
my God.
I didn't see it that way. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, of course you didn't,
No,
because
I
you're
didn't.
delusional.
Okay. And I'm sure that when I talk to people outside this radio program, they're going to feel the same way that I do. I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. Is Eddie Scazzeri out in the newsroom?
I don't know.
Is anybody out there?
Sure, there's a lot of
Bring
people.
anybody in right now. Have them come in now. Open the door.
All right.
Walk in the studio. Let's talk to the I-Man.
Right.
Bring him in right now. Get him in there. Don't you call in who you want, Sid. You sit down. Sit back in your chair, Sid.
No, he's calling people in. He's calling
I am
people in.
ordering you to sit in your chair. Oh, he's not listening to me.
He's calling individuals in.
25 till the hour here on the Imus the Morning program. Who's that there?
That's Michelle.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk to her.
Okay.
Michelle?
Yeah,
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Who won the battle?
Just now?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a toss-up. Doggy was yelling a lot. I don't know.
Get out of the studio. Oh, God almighty.
Trying to be PC.
Get me some, but we don't need that. That's not what we need.
We need truth. Veracity.
We need the truth. Where's Eddie Scazzeri?
Where's Scazzeri?
He's not back yet.
Scazzeri out there?
No. Is anybody in there? Is anybody out in the newsroom?
Where's
It's
Bunzel?
Nico.
No, we've got enough people.
Bunzel left
Well, who do we have?
We just had one very capable person.
Who?
No, she didn't even hear it.
She heard the whole
she's
thing.
a jerk. She just wanted to get on the radio.
Okay. She heard the whole thing.
She's a politically correct little sissy girl.
Eddie is not out there right now, so there's nobody
who
else.
is out there? Who can we talk to?
Hold on, I'll find somebody.
Bernard, can you get somebody?
Talk a little bit and I'll be right back.
There was nobody out there that
There's
heard
nobody in the newsroom?
No, they were apparently...
Well, what happens if there's a major news alert?
Oh, they're
What is
there.
that, the FAA out there?
Nobody else heard it at this point, I mean.
Nobody else heard it.
They were not listening.
Even though, by the way, the other outrage this morning, but don't get me started on this, my brother, who did used to restore 57 Chevys.
Yes, he did.
Did a magnificent job on that, telling me not to put pipes on my Ford pickup.
That's not where you want to go.
When these two clowns down in El Paso built this, oh, God. I can't tell you the problems. Well, I didn't want to get into it. So, but just bring it up. Just don't offer me any advice about stuff that's cost me a fortune. Just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy your ratings went up in Tucson and butt out. God. I love my brother, but, I mean, other than that, he's just a... Well, there's somebody who's just...
Stay out of the truck decisions.
Just stay out. Just shut up. God, just butt out. That 54 Chevy I have is so screwed up you couldn't drive it.
That ain't good.
Now, who straightened it out for me?
I don't know.
The people at Rich Ford.
There you go.
By the way,
What does that say?
I really feel bad for Sid. Well, here's Joey from New Jersey on line 1. Maybe he's got an input in this. Good morning, Joey. Joey.
Hi, Miss. How you doing, buddy?
Come on, you mouth-breathing moron. When I talk to you, answer me.
Come on, Imus. This is the meat man from down the shore. I talked to you about 5-6 years ago.
How you doing,
I think
baby?
Sid's taking a bad rap here.
Why?
I think Sid's taking... Hello.
I'm here, Joey, you
Okay,
nitwit. Take your hand off your meat and talk to the I-Man.
Let me tell you something. I think Sid's taking a bad rap here.
Okay. On line 2, with a more objective view of what happened here, is Glenn from Long Island. Good morning, Glenn.
Oh, Sid, put the panties on, man. You got your ass handed to you.
Downtown. Glenn from downtown. Glenn just went yard on the I-Man's program. Is that what you said, Charlie? Go
Yes.
yard? That means hitting a home run, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here on line 3 is John from Jersey. Good morning, John.
Morning, Imus. Hey, you know what? Dog did to Sid what he does to all his other callers that disagree with him. He screamed and yelled so that Sid couldn't get anything in.
Sid lost his breath.
2-1 me.
And was...
It doesn't matter. Sid got his breath taken. You know what? Takes a bad rap. Where it does his work. And Dog, you know what? Talking about protecting my ego in his young career, and he made fun of a guy who's trying to get his career going, like Dog said that he did for 15 years. But you know what? Dog needs to shut his mouth and do his own thing and not worry about screaming at people. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Imus.
2-1 Sid.
Well, it is 2-1.
Yes, it is. Oh, by the way, this is the same guy talking about hypocrites that talks about ending other people's careers, that when Mike Francesa went on vacation, begged and pleaded to management they take his name out of the jingle. This is the same guy. He's so worried about everybody else's career.
No, wait a minute. He took the name out of the jingle, and I caught it.
Right.
And put a stop to it. Management had nothing to do with it.
Oh, so you even better.
But he
No,
did do
I'm
it,
the
Tom.
one who.
But he did do it. But he did do it. He's so worried about Ian's career that he wanted to shove it right up Mike's butt, and Mike is the guy that's made him all the money he's made. If not for Mike, he's got nothing.
He did do it.
He's a blabbering idiot who Mike saved his career like you saved mine.
He took Mike Francesa's name out of the jingle and was stabbing Mike in the back, and I put a stop to it.
Right.
I'm the one who put a stop to it.
Well, the point is that what Sid's point is that he did do it.
No, you're the hero here, man. Don't get me wrong, but that's Russo's hypocrisy. He's worried about other people's jobs. He couldn't care less if God forbid Mike crashed his car on the way to work. You think he'd be on the funeral Monday, or here talking about the Giants? What do you think?
You know something, Sid? You're absolutely right. It's just too bad you couldn't have come up with this stuff when Mad Dog was just bitch slapping you on the radio.
Like you were Whitney Houston.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an unfortunate
2-1 mine. That's all I know.
example to use.
There's more out
The people have spoken. It's 2-1. Well, now you're going to start rigging the phone calls.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to rig the
Now
phone.
you're gonna start
I have all day to rig phone calls.
I don't even got a lot of time to make phone calls. You're beady-eyed.
I don't even know where
Like you were hit a nuts spot.
But it ain't like I'm going on TV and tearing out pictures of the Pope. I know I get wild and I know I get drunk, but it ain't like I've got a bunch of bodies in my trunk. My old man used to call me the no good punk, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live till I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but God knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. I'm alright. Imus in the morning.
You're a sports fan. You love your teams. And to feed your appetite for sports, you got a basic high-speed internet connection. Not so fast. Finish line not reached. Game not over. Even with a basic high-speed connection, you're just getting started. That's why you need AOL speed internet connection.
Busted. I'm listening to all of this.
Is Sid really upset?
Oh, absolutely.
He's rattled.
Yeah, he's a shaken man.
Well, if you got beat up 2 days in a row, you would be too.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you going to do your program today, Sid?
Not a problem. I feel very good about myself. I continue to get slaps on the back and handshakes and accolades and superlatives being thrown all around the place about what I did to Dog this morning.
No, you didn't do anything.
Because most people here are so afraid, of course, of the I-Man and Mike and Chris. And they let them do whatever they want, but of course I wouldn't allow that. And if I think Dog is acting like an idiot, I'm going to tell him he's acting like an idiot like I did today.
No. Not yesterday when he was in your face.
You didn't do anything today, and what happened was it's irrelevant that the listeners think Chris is hypocritical, which in fact he is. That's not the issue here. The issue is what happened between you and Chris.
I killed him.
And he killed you this morning.
I killed him.
Well, you didn't do
it. It was a 12-round fight. I won the first 11 rounds. He won the last round. See ya. Not close.
You were his bitch.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. He was Bobby Brown and you were Whitney Houston.
Bottom line.
You were Mrs. James Brown. That's who you were.
Mrs. Tia Turner.
Well.
Well, it's not over yet either, by the way, so...
it is.
Oh, no, it's not over.
But when it mattered, you did not step up yesterday afternoon when he was in the newsroom in your face.
Oh,
it doesn't do any good for the listeners to call and tell us that Chris is hypocritical. We already know that.
What about the guy that said I kicked his ass? That doesn't count either?
That guy's delusional.
Oh,
He just hates Russo, that's all. He's got an
That's
agenda.
Just because you hate Russo, you can't let that cloud your judgment.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Your analysis of it, right, Charles?
That was like the fix was in with that guy.
Listen, I agree. So I would not allow... They should not let it cloud their judgment. I agree with
Well,
you.
you got whooped.
Well,
that's all. Now, you can make up for it at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll see if you do that.
Oh, we will we?
And how about Benigno? What's he going to do?
What's Joe Benigno going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't speak for Joe. I mean, Joe's a buddy of mine, and it's unfortunate, but I can't tell you what Joe was going to do. I can't worry about that.
What did he say about Joe?
Basically that...
you were pretty harsh with him this morning. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Basically, he said that Joe should just shut his mouth as well. He had some interview with Bob Raceman here at the Daily News, and who cares what Joe says anyway, because he's not talented enough to work in the daytime anyway.
That's cold.
Wow.
Which is, by the way, Which is, by the way, not true.
Not true at all.
Well, here now, be quiet. Here now, back on the telephone is Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Dad. Good morning, Sid. How are you, buddy?
Hey, listen, Russo. How about the time, you phony, when you when you wanted to take Mike's name out of the jingle, and I prevented you from doing that?
First off, you stirred the pot there like no end. You loved it, me and Mike killing each other 15, 14 years ago. My goodness gracious. And one thing for Sid.
First of all, let's address this issue.
Okay, we got this. What would you like me to say?
Did you try to take his name out of the
It
jingle?
was a gag! It was a fight! It was a gag! It was for laugh! You're used to that? Okay, you came out there me. I apologize. That's 14 years ago! 14
Now what?
years!
What do you want to say to Sid?
Okay. Sid, let me ask you a question. When I went on CNBC and the Today Show and Imus and Letterman and little radio station...
Hold on with Letterman. He bumped you off twice for Demi Moore.
Let Mad Dog talk, then you can talk.
Concord, New Hampshire, Chicago, San Francisco. Did I bump somebody off to do these interviews? Did I take somebody's job at CNBC when we did the Mad Dog 100?
No.
When I went out with Flower and Katie Couric, did I bump somebody who had a full-time job there to do it? I did not. I was a guest. Marv's not a guest on Yes. He's going to do the game. I was a guest. You got the terrible analogy. I was doing what Doubleday wanted me to do.
That wasn't the analogy I made. What I said was, if you feel so bad for Iron Eagle, why don't you take all the money that you made off this book with your shameless publicity and give him the money to make up for his job that he may lose with Yes? That's all I'm saying. You know what it comes down to, dog? You don't care about Iron Eagle. You got some agenda right now. You got some motive right now that you're not man enough to admit on the air. There is something going on way beyond Iron Eagle. And when you come on the air and actually admit that you have some secret agenda, then maybe you'll get the respect you deserve. Until that time, stop trying to pawn off like you really care about Iron Eagle when you don't give a rat's ass.
That's it. Do you know how much money I made in that Mad Dog 100?
I have no idea.
Okay, did you know that I gave Don Schreibacher plenty of money to do the research, paid out of my own cash? Did you know I paid Tammy Burke 5 months of publicity so the Doubleday wouldn't pay her because I wanted to make sure she stayed on because she was doing a good job? Did you know that?
No.
Did you know that I paid for Alan St. John's expenses, including subway tokens? Did you know that?
No.
No, you did not know that.
Subway tokens? How about getting the guy a car or a cab or something, you millionaire? Subway, I'm supposed to be impressed that you bought the guy subway tokens. You're a millionaire. How about getting the guy a cab? The guy was standing on the urinal, and then the tracks in the middle of the summer, he showed up here sweating his balls off, smelling like urine, and you're supposed to be impressed that you gave him $1.50 for subway tokens. You're a millionaire driving a BMW every day. What a joke. You're unbelievable.
On that note,
It's in the morning.
well, that was unfortunate, the subway reference. Attention homeowners, warm weather has finally arrived.
The South Van Highway Patrol.
Now, 27 minutes after the hour, here in the Imus Morning Program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Please welcome to the program now Dave Bunzel, who is, well, first of all, good morning, Mr. Bunzel.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Not bad. Yourself?
I'm fine, Dave. What is your official function at the radio station?
I am the assistant news editor. I assist Tracy with preparing the news for Charles and getting the sound bites together for Sid and for Tracy.
Okay. How old are you?
30.
You ever been married?
I have not.
I have not. Have you ever had sex?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah.
That you didn't pay for.
Well, just shut up, Bernard. Can I get the line out?
That you're awake? Well, he goes to Amsterdam about twice a month.
He does.
I have had sex, which I have not paid for. Yes, thank you very much.
What was that because...
With your uncle?
You skipped out, or she fell asleep and you didn't leave any money on the dresser?
Leave quietly.
No, it was a girlfriend at the time.
What do you do when you go to Amsterdam?
Was it consensual?
The Colorado football deal here?
One of those Jap plays?
I'm sorry. That'll be fine, Lou.
No disrespect to your girlfriend, Dave.
No, none of that.
So, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Sid tells me that you have arranged to meet a woman through the internet. Is that right?
Yes, I have. I met her, as I have met a few other girlfriends, through an online dating service.
Right.
Like
Now, how do you know what she... Not that that's... Well, it is important.
Of course it is.
How do you know what she looks like?
Well, presuming her picture is like it was on the internet, I've seen her picture.
And what? How would you... Who would you compare her to at the radio station?
Well, let's see. She's kind of short. She has a nice smile, dark hair. I know.
Would she compare to Michelle?
A little bit to Michelle. I mean, she has a kind of a Mediterranean Spanish look to her.
Oh, right. Let me tell you what she's going to look like when she shows up tonight, Dave.
I'd love
she's
to hear
going to
this
look
one.
like Michael Moore in a wig.
Molly Ivins.
Jack Klugman.
Yeah.
Well, if she has that beard, I'm running right out of there.
Like Tyne Daly.
I mean,
with a hangover.
You are looking at somebody with the ass the size of an SUV. Holy God, Dave.
But then again, you might like that.
Yeah.
Where are you going to meet her?
I'm going to meet her at a restaurant.
In Manhattan?
No,
or?
up in the Bronx. We both live in the Bronx.
At a bakery, by the way, which she wanted to go to, which kind of...
That's not a good sign.
Let's call it a cafe, please.
Yeah, it's a bakery is what it is.
Well, he's looking for a soulmate, though, not necessarily somebody to, hose on the first date, right, Dave?
Yeah, that is correct.
You ever see the movie Shallow Hal?
Do they serve alcohol at this joint?
Not that I know of.
Well, Dave, you're going to have to get her drunk. I'm trying to be honest with you here.
Into the Sci-Fi Network?
Actually, you're going to have to get drunk.
Yeah.
Don't tell her you're into fisting on the first date. All right?
Well, there's a liquor store right next door, so maybe we'll stop there on the way
To the park, yeah.
to the park. Yeah.
All right, here's now Tracy Burgess. First of all, Tracy, I understand that your husband is someone who is a lot like Dave.
What? My husband like Dave Bunzel? No, they have
Yeah.
the same name, but I really don't think there's a lot of similarities.
Oh, there's a lot, actually. I've met them both. They're both
Well,
kind of quiet.
I wouldn't know, but so I'm just relying on the information given to me by Bernard McGurk and Sid Rosenberg.
Well, I think that they're misinforming you. Dave is a Democrat. My husband is a conservative Republican. Dave is, our Dave is average size. My Dave is about 6'4".
Right, he's big, but he's sort of a geek, right?
No, he really isn't. He's actually very funny, and he was a former newsman at 1010 Wins and a former congressman. So,
Sure.
yeah.
It's just
But he's balding, overweight, dorky kind of guy, no? He's a nice guy, though.
His hair is thin. He's a very nice guy. He's
Right,
a good
sure.
guy. He's my husband of 15 years.
right.
I've known him since 1979. I met him at a press conference.
Right.
What time when you get home do you untie the ropes, by the way, and let them off?
Watch out, Sitter. I'm going to get my paddle out and spank you.
Is there ever a time in your life, Tracy, when you would have, or even now, for example, when you would have dated Dave?
Dated Dave Bunzel?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get the right...
No, Dave Letterman. Yeah, Dave Bunzel.
Dave's just not my type, and I'm not his either. No, I don't think that Dave and I think we can safely say we can work together, but we would not have dated. No disrespect to Dave.
No, that would be about correct.
Okay.
Dave,
Yes.
is there ever a time in your life, I don't know, say like now, would you be happy if the woman who showed up tonight looks like Tracy?
Well, Tracy's, no offense, a little older than I am.
Oh, my God.
Just stating the facts. Stating the facts there.
Mrs. Robinson would make me very happy. Trust
Good
me.
luck tonight, Dave.
Now Tracy's promising sexual favors, Dave.
No, I'm just saying that don't dismiss a woman who may not be 30-something or 20-something.
The experience, right.
Seasoned.
Yeah, but you could. Experience means you could have been around more times than a drum and a clothes dryer.
It also means just to have a little bit of tricks in your repertoire. That's
Dave
all.
should count his blessings if Nancy Reagan showed up on a second date. Forget Dave.
With a soccer jersey on.
It's just somebody who has a heartbeat.
Now he's getting choosy, this guy. What, are you kidding me?
What are you nuts? You're making dates on the internet, and suddenly Tracy's a pig who's too old.
You're a newsroom geek who lives in the Bronx. For God's sake.
Did you put
With your
listing
mom?
with, like,
What are you, nuts?
Wait, did you put your listing like big, beautiful woman like BBW? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I did not say that.
Okay, all right.
Do you like soccer?
Dave.
I did mention I was a soccer fan, yes. You like Star Trek?
It's 33 minutes after the hour here on the Imus Morning program. When is the date, Dave?
That would be tonight.
Oh, it's tonight?
Yes, it is.
Now, you get up early because you come in, you work with us, and will you be taking a nap?
I will be taking a nap, yes.
Okay.
And I will be changing out the soccer jersey.
What will you be wearing this evening? I just...
No.
Black
tights.
Are you going with a Yankee look or what?
No, it's going to go with slacks and a kind of dressy shirt.
How about some extra socks where they might help, Dave?
I see where we're going here.
That is. What's the deal with it? What's the sock reference, Tracy?
Oh, well, that's not like Michael Boltonism, you know.
Yeah.
Nice tight pants and, you know.
Oh, I see.
The promise of something better.
Oh, I kind of missed that.
Sorry.
Well, Dave,
Yes?
on Monday, what's today, Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday, yeah.
Okay, well, tomorrow morning,
Tomorrow morning, okay?
let's have a report on this, okay?
You got it.
You like the FX network?
If you show up.
No, we'll have a report on this tomorrow morning from a homicide detective.
Well,
He'll be oiling the chainsaw this afternoon.
All that's left are Vulcan ears somewhere.
now, earlier this morning,
She wouldn't kiss me.
a few minutes ago, Michelle viciously attacked Tracy, and we'll find out whether Tracy's going to take it, well, not lying down, because obviously that's a pattern in her life.
No. She likes it on all fours, actually.
Wonderful to you, Bertie.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. You look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey? A big black boots, a long brown hair, and she's so sweet with her. Get back there, like a slave. You are brave, but you are with me. I know where to hang out, what to say, before I let you get away. I said, are you gonna be my Imus in the morning?
Feel the difference and sleep better. And maybe you use a few less allergy pills.
Yeah. 20 minutes till the hour here in the Imus Morning program. On the radio all over the country, syndicated by Westwood One Entertainment. On 96.9 FM Talk in Boston, on WFAN in New York, on the Big 13-something in Tucson, and about 100 other radio stations, including, by the way, the Sports Animal in Albuquerque, which is really there's some great people there, do great production. I don't know them, and I'm not going down there ever.
Right.
I don't want the general manager, the program director, to ever contact me again.
Yeah, forget that.
Or Fareed Suleiman, who runs the whole deal, who's my friend, and I like going back to, obviously, when he was working for Mel, but just butt out, leave me alone.
Fareed's a nice man.
I mentioned to Charles off the air, I said, boy, Teresa Hines has just lost her mind, hasn't she? And Charles said, well, I'm not at liberty to report what Charles said, although he didn't tell me it was off the record. He did describe her as a loose cannon, which I don't think she's a loose cannon. I think what she is she's reached an age where she just doesn't give a damn. Now, I, for example, reached that age when I was 7 in the first grade or whatever it was, 6. That I haven't done, you know, you either are that way or you aren't.
Yeah.
You know, I've been smart-mouthing people for, 50 years since then, so. Plus.
She's a dingbat.
Well, I like her. She's a good person.
She's going to ruin his chances to be
She's not
elected.
going to do anything but out.
She is a loose cannon. I mean,
But,
dummy up.
That's kind of acknowledged.
Well, what is she? What's she doing?
She's a wild card.
She described herself as being sexy and
Sexy, saucy.
well,
A $100 million bank account will make you sexy. But
500 million,
whatever it is.
or maybe more.
Yeah, 550. Latest is one of the figures I've seen about
Well,
it.
why is it necessary to drag money into what is probably a beautiful love affair between Senator Kerry
Well, you
her
know,
son, her husband.
$500 million doesn't hurt. Grease that skid.
Well, you're just a pig, Charles. That's what you are.
Just saying.
What's going on in the world, Chuck? And we'll get to Tracy, speaking of older women.
Fresh attacks on oil pipelines have again crippled Iraq's oil industries. It could take up to a week, 10 days to repair the damage to 2 southern pipelines, and they're concerned about it to the point that OPEC's president says he'll be asking producers who aren't members of the cartel to raise output because they fear a spike in prices as a result of this damage in Iraq. U.S. Marines arrested several members of the Iraqi Civil Defense Corps in connection with a deadly roadside bombing today in the city of Ramadi. The 9/11 Commission opening its final public hearings today, holding them today and tomorrow. Al-Qaeda terrorists are threatening to kill an American engineer within 72 hours unless Saudi Arabia meets their demands to free some of the terrorists who are held by the Saudis. And a senior official of Iraq's North Oil Company
Well, why
has
wouldn't
been
the
shot and
Saudis
killed.
release them? They're in with them, in cahoots with them.
That's a good point.
Of course they'll release them.
And Michael...
They probably got them in the palace there snorting cocaine with a bunch of French hookers.
Really?
Court TV documents obtained by Court
Watching
TV
country music television.
say Michael Jackson paid out more than $23 million to settle the civil suit over child molestation accusations back in the 1990s.
Whatever.
And they were dancing in the streets last night in Detroit, and they weren't trashing the streets. Hundreds turned out to celebrate the Pistons trouncing the Lakers in the finals.
16 to the hour. Now, I don't ask women how old they are, and sometimes I don't ask men, but if I had to guess, I mean, just how old Tracy is, I would have guessed around 35. That's what I would have guessed. I'm not paying all that much attention, but I mean, so here we have Michelle now. Unfortunately, it's characterized. How old are you, Tracy? Not Tracy, but yeah, Tracy.
Yes, I am going to be 44. I'm 43.
Wow. Oh, there you go. God.
Nice. Like it.
You look fabulous.
You actually said, Mr. Imus, that you thought Michelle and I were similar in age.
No kidding.
I did, yeah. I actually did.
You did.
Well,
Dave was going to be 40, and
good Lord.
She's a beautiful woman, sure. She's gorgeous.
Time to get a new one. No kidding. It's time.
That'll be fine.
Count the rings.
40.
Jeez.
Anyway.
The point of being the Iron Man.
Yeah.
There's really some ugliness this morning from Michelle, Tracy, and I
heard it. Well, well, quite frankly, we really don't have anything in common. I mean, I was on the air when she was, learning to feed herself, and Sid was studying for the bar mitzvah. I mean, come on, she says this fingertip test. I mean, let's face it. I mean, if her she's got these tiny little fingers anyway. I'll tell her where to put those fingers.
If all young people have is the accusation of age, they need to recognize that that's where they're going to wind up.
Oh, yeah.
It's the deal where the chickens come home to roost, as clearly they have with you, Tracy.
Well, she hopes... Well, wait a minute. She hopes she looks as good as I do now when she's this age.
You got that.
She's
You got that one.
There you go.
That's what's going on. I mean, right
you
now, she's just a total waste of makeup. When she gets to my age, then she'll be okay.
Let me tell you something, Tracy. As soon as Michelle gets married,
yes.
One kid, she weighs 400 pounds.
No doubt. No doubt. Her body's going to be huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 46-inch hips. She's going to go from size 4 to a 40.
She's in the kitchen. She's in the kitchen with a wash tub of meatballs.
Absolutely. Looks like a water heater in tights.
Stuffing those sausages.
Oh, man. So, well, I'm sorry that you had to take this abuse. It would have been better, by the way, Tracy, had you been a little more supportive of Dave, and I wouldn't have killed you to suggest that there would have been a time in your life when you might have gone out with Dave.
Well, I guess you're right, Mr. Imus. I mean, he is a nice guy. But we did see a picture of the woman that he is dating tonight, and she does not look like Jack Klugman or Mons Mabley or Carl Malden or anything.
Not. Of course, the picture doesn't look like anything.
She looks like Dave.
Probably head of Nussbaum.
Now, who was head of Nussbaum, Bernie?
No, that was Joel Rosenberg's.
Joel Steinberg.
Right.
She was a woman who was, in a famous case in New York, was hideously abused by this psychopath.
Right.
And her face was puffed. She looked like, Joe Frazier after Muhammad Ali beat him up.
This psychopath killed his daughter, Lisa Steinberg, and this psychopath has currently been he's out of jail. He's actually walking the streets.
So do you think this woman is a psychopath and she's going to beat up Dave tonight? I mean, maybe he's into that.
He's not a bad-looking guy.
No.
I mean, Dave's not deformed, or he's not...
exactly, no.
Socially challenged.
Pardon me?
A little socially challenged.
Well, that's fine. He's shy.
He's quiet.
He's very shy, and...
Do you eat Joyce?
You didn't catch her in the eye?
And he's, he's a sports geek.
Yeah, that's all.
True.
So I'm wearing his soccer jerseys, which is troubling, but
bright kid.
Well, she's into it, I think. She's a soccer person, too.
oh, she is.
Yeah. They've already spoken on the phone. I mean, they've gone through all that, the sort of getting to know you
There you
stuff.
go.
They're just going to do
Oh, I
it face to
see.
face.
Now, just so you know, the picture that he showed us on the internet is of a cute girl, but it is cut off at the neck.
Yeah, you're right. I was going to point that out. Sid.
So she could be a fat, filthy slob.
Oh, no,
From the neck down, which she probably is.
Chances are.
Right.
There are those news anchors. They look great from the waist up.
See
But
what I'm saying?
oh, my God,
Right.
down there. Oh.
I've heard people say Star Jones has a pretty face. You see what I'm saying?
And she does.
Yeah, and then what?
Well, Star Jones is fine, God. Sure.
Oh, here, one time on The View. And
No, but
Star Jones is
no, that's just gratuitous. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
And poor Star Jones and all my other
She's a very pretty woman.
homegirls over at The View.
Let me ask you the same question you just asked Tracy, okay?
Yeah.
Years ago, assuming before Deidre, if Star Jones was in the studio, and you were in the studio,
I don't like the sound of it.
Are you sure, Chuck?
Well, Sid, you just
want to reconsider everything?
It's dangerous, Sid.
That's why I can never write a book, Sid. Or certainly a memoir. 11 minutes till the hour.
Get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of line. Better run, girl. You're much too young, girl. Imus in the morning.
All right, let me tell you about Northport Bank. In just 5 years, over 50,000 business people have brought their
Eastbound Sunrise Highway delays out in Shinnecock. I'm Tracy Burgess with the South Van Highway Patrol.
6 minutes till the hour. Here in the I'm Mr. Wayne program. On the radio and on MSNBC. Coming up tomorrow, Tim Russert. And with a final Father's Day push, God, for Big Russ and Me, which is number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list. Only exceeded in the listing by that hideously unreadable punctuation book, Eats, Shoots, and Leaves. God. Which is just...
It's been there forever.
Why anybody buys that, it just escapes me.
It's becoming a Tuesday with Morris deal.
And then Joe Califano, he'll be on with his book. So, and I'm just sick of both of them. Nice effort from the Los Angeles Lakers last night, Sid, and you owe Donnie Imus an apology.
no, I don't. I actually, I will give Donnie Imus all the credit in the world for picking Detroit to win this series, but I don't think I owe him an apology. I don't think my statement that I originally made was not factual.
That he's a moron?
Yeah, he's a moron. His wife's cute, though. Samantha.
What?
Samantha.
That will be fine. Leave Samantha alone.
Sorry. Yeah.
Just butt out.
All right.
God, you're a horrid human being.
I'm still married, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In fact, Samantha's going to fill in this summer out at the ranch as a child life specialist.
Oh, really?
Where she was when Donnie met her, and when she was supposed to be taking care of the children, Donnie had her up in the bunkhouse.
Oh, really?
Doing whatever people do.
Take back what I said about Donnie Imus.
Teaching
Shut up.
Imus in the morning.
Many interest checking accounts pay less than 1% APY. Wouldn't you rather get 2% APY?
I'm going to Greenpoint, Greenpoint Bank.
It's time to switch to Greenpoint.
So now the team is